Good morning. I'm your friend Scotty Ray. This is Odie, and off to the races we go.
Yeah.
63 right now as you're waking up. We got a lot of fog, and it's going to be pretty much sunny for the rest of the day. A big change from yesterday, which caused major accident after accident. Now,
yeah, something like that.
coming in, we need a first-hand eyewitness report as to what was going on I-59. Let's switch the camera and find out exactly what they saw this morning. Sheriff, what was going on in the curve?
Well, there at Deadman's Curve at the
Get a little closer to that mic there.
split. No, let me bring it to me.
Yeah,
That's
just
all
grab the
right.
whole thing. There you go. We hear you now.
It did appear to be an 18-wheeler rollover there at the split this morning, which is very common in this type of weather.
Oh, and I'm sure back in the days when you were highway patrol, you saw a bunch in that area.
Yes, sir. I did. One thing I did notice this morning that CTED, which is the old MDOT law enforcement, they had 3 units out there assisting a trooper with traffic, which is, I mean, that's a good thing. I'm glad to see that. They're helping them. They were able to back up a good ways, probably half a mile to warn them.
The thing about that place is when you come around the curve, you can't always see, and then there it is, and you're trying to slant, which could cause another wreck.
That's exactly right.
I would like to know, and I should have started in January statistically keeping up with how many wrecks happen there in a year.
Ooh.
Do you remember back when you used to do that, what it might have been?
To give a number, I couldn't say it's the busiest place throughout my career on the patrol, but it is a good bit. And when it rains, you can just about count on it.
Oh, yeah. It's just you set it up.
But it looked like they were wrapping it up when I came through this morning.
That's good. I'd mentioned to you, Odie, yesterday that everything was kind of quiet at the moment, and I used that word, and then you had to evacuate your office to hit the woods, so to speak.
It didn't take long. We were working from one end of Lauderdale County to the other.
It sure was. Now, we got
2 more guests done come up in here.
Ellie Mae, where did you go, Ellie Mae?
Got one up. Oh, she done went to the.
She went to the hairdresser. I was going to show. If she comes back, we'll show you that new hairdo that little girl's done got.
Got her a new scarf and everything.
She's just tickled.
Any reports of a fire in Texaco and Marion? Yes, we did get a report of that. They have all disregarded, so as of now, we're thinking everything's okay. Nobody sent a picture or anything in yet.
I think a biscuit got out of hand.
Yeah, they wanted one well done.
Yeah,
Got overcooked.
You got just a little overcooked. There must be some grease from that there sausage.
Sometimes when it gets a little hot, you got to get out the kitchen.
Yeah, that's
absolutely
right.
Let's see here. As we talked about earlier, let me recap this for everybody who is not aware of what's coming on Friday. And let me pull this up as we go to a Honda Meridian radar. This is the threat of severe weather. Let's look at this. All of this yellow, this is from Dallas, Texas, Waco, Little Rock, through Vicksburg, over to Mobile in these areas here. Down to Dothan, Alabama is going to be under a level 2. Lauderdale County is in this, a small southwestern portion of Kemper County. Most of Neshoba County is in this, from Philadelphia southward is involved in this. All of this over to Leake County involved in this. That would be little Ellie.
She must have smelled Sebastian on me.
Yeah, she's smelling puppy dog. We'll see if we can't catch her in a minute there. But what we want to watch with this, all of this yellow area, the possibility of tornadic activity on Friday. Now, we're still a couple days out. All of this is going to be tweaked and adjusted by the time we get there. So keep in mind, severe weather come Friday. We'll be here behind the scenes working on this, and then give you up to the date moment by moment as it plays out Friday. So there you go.
Yeah. Ooh. So be prepared.
Yeah, this time of year always brings about has the potential to bring about some pretty rough weather.
It does.
Doesn't it?
And Clarke County is no stranger to that.
Oh, my goodness, yes. It's just like, there for a while, it was almost like Tornado Alley.
It was. And your deputies, as I well know, they're one of the ones that have to hit the road to find out is there something blocking the roadways.
That's right.
And that's a lot of work.
That's
with that.
right. We try to, depending on what's going on, we try to shelter in place for a little bit. We got to get out there pretty quick. And one thing that we do, we keep a list. We try to keep a running list of these people who have storm shelters.
Right. Yeah.
And it gives them a peace of mind because let's just say you do have a storm shelter and you're in it, and if something goes on, then and let's say a tree falls on it and you can't get out. I mean, we need to go around and depending on the affected area, we go around and check those people.
Correct. So if you've got one, make sure to get in touch with emergency management.
That's right. That's exactly.
Get in touch with you there. As we look at this, anybody upset over last night? Anybody shocked?
Can't say that I am.
I'm not shocked, but I wanted Trump to get 15-0. But we do Vermont.
I mean, really.
If
you got to give one up, that would be the one there. It's not as it's kind of like Mississippi. What, 5 or 6 delegates in the delegate votes in the end?
You would think that place didn't have any kind of thought on global warming.
Well, they got Bernie. He thinks for them up there.
That's right.
I honestly, that and snow is all I think of when I think of Vermont.
That's all I think of.
It just not a lot of headlines come out of there.
No.
I mean, you never hear anybody from music come from there. At least Mississippi has a bunch of that. Vermont, no, it's too cold. Their fingers can't get adjusted to the guitar.
Don't they have the movie Super Troopers?
Is that where that was at?
I mean, I don't just
did y'all
just throw that out there? Huh?
Everybody that was in that ended up being in the Dukes of Hazzard. Did y'all catch that?
No, I didn't.
That would be why the Dukes of Hazzard was so bad. I'm not lying. It was a lot of same players out of that, which tells you somebody was the same writer. Nikki is expected today, a little bit later on, to say that she gives up. Last night she wasn't budging, she wasn't talking, but the word is this morning that it's floating around that you ain't gonna get no more money.
I'll believe it when I see it.
It's coming. Be ready for it. Even ABC News starting to hint that they hear it too. So as soon as we get word on that, we'll share that so everybody can be up to date on that.
Well, they are more national.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm talking about national.
Okay.
The big headlines there with them. We had somebody, a cartoonist yesterday in New York, decide that he didn't want to take it anymore and jump to his death from 15 stories, Odie.
It's terrible.
New York. I don't, what drives somebody to that? I don't know.
You said he's a cartoonist.
Yeah, he was a cartoon drawer.
That's interesting.
It is. And
I mean, it's sad, but
his girlfriend tried to, and a man most likely is going to make way more than a woman. His girlfriend tried to catch him and pull him, and she couldn't hold him. And he went.
She's lucky she didn't go out the window with him.
Absolutely. You can be drugged with someone.
Well, you never know what's going on in someone's head. You never know what they're dealing with. And and the law enforcement aspect, that's something that I believe that we see more and more every day.
Did you take the training on that back?
The CIT training? Yeah. I actually personally have not attended that. Well, I take that back. There was an earlier version class of that back probably 12 or 13 years ago that I did go through over at the Crisis Center in Newton.
Right.
But the this latest, I personally have not, but I've got about 5 or 6 of my deputies that are CIT certified.
It's important.
Which is pretty good for a small agency.
Absolutely.
Oh,
yeah. Almost, I'm not going to say all, but Anthony, as well as I do, domestic calls, you deal with that. It's somebody who's mad, they're enraged.
That's right.
And it's the officer who has to talk it down and calm the situation.
That's exactly right. And it takes a unique individual, because the fact is, if I were to shown up here this morning and you and Odie were in some sort of a spat, my demeanor and the way that I carry myself and how I approach the situation, I could either escalate it,
right,
or I could potentially calm it down.
Now, and as you well know, each person,
there's some out there that enjoy a high stress situation where it's best just to.
And there's some officers that show up and their job is not that tight. They're the guy that's big
that's right.
ceases the.
That's right.
He does it on the other end of it, and there's the other person.
There's some couples that the only way they live and stay together is to keep drama brewing in their life.
Throwing things at one another.
That's right.
I don't get it.
I don't either.
I couldn't live that way.
No, I'm not going to sit here and argue every day. We're not going to do that. If we're gonna argue every day, we've got something we need to work on.
That's right. That's exactly.
Do y'all remember? And let me show a picture of this. We're going back to the Nickelodeon days. Let me show this. Your kids may have watched this. Drake and what was this?
Josh and Drake. Or
Drake.
Drake and Josh.
Do you remember them?
I do.
This one right here. That one lost a lot of weight later on, but this here is Drake. He is now saying that he was sexually abused while on the show by one of the producers there at 15.
Oh my gosh.
So how is Nickelodeon going to answer this? I don't know. I didn't know any of that. If you remember, he had a meltdown not long ago, and they were looking for him.
No, I didn't.
Yeah,
know.
he's had several instances to where he.
Well, that would explain.
It
that
messes-
would go
yeah.
along with.
Yeah.
And
so-
I think that we would probably be shocked
yes.
to know that the things like that have gone on in the past in someone's life that makes them act the way that they do. And here's the thing: some of them will never give it up.
It's going to die with them.
Never. And
they'll keep it till the day they
that's
die.
exactly.
And that can be friends. It could be family members. It could be a coach. It could be, like this case, somebody that's a mentor that walks you through with what you do. Boy.
Well, Angie come in and she said yesterday we had Rip on the show. Today
Who do we
have
got?
brought in Longmire.
There he is.
Walt Longmire.
Didn't you like Walt?
I do like Walt. I did like Walt.
As I talk with your daddy, and sometimes you got to go above Anthony's head and talk to his daddy. We got to get you in a hat, dude.
Man, I had somebody look the other day at. Matter of fact, it was after my father-in-law's funeral last week, and somebody actually told me that I didn't even know this lady. She said, "You need to wear a hat." She said, "I'm with Odie and Scotty Ray. You need to wear a hat."
Look, it ain't as bad
But
as
it's not. It's. I don't think that is me.
I think it's you. You just don't realize it. You know, I read an article this morning about Don Williams to where he had never worn a hat until he was in a movie with Burt Reynolds, Dixie and the Dance Hall Kings, I think was the name of it. And he wore the hat, and thereafter he wore it every day.
Kept wearing
and I went 3 years ago. Let me tell you this: I ain't never felt so much like Dwight Yoakam in all my life, because we all know Dwight Yoakam will scare you if he ain't got a cowboy hat on. I was sitting there and I was going to get my eyes checked, and I had a lady come up to me. She was walking out the door, and she goes, "Scotty Ray?" I said, "Yes, ma'am." She goes, "You really should never leave home without your cowboy hat."
Well, nobody knows you. You walk by 18 people with no hat on. Nobody knows it. But he gets out of the truck with a hat on, and all you hear is, "Scotty Ray! Scotty Ray!"
Hey, we got to get that big old hat to put on this Tahoe.
We're looking for at least a 3-foot plastic cowboy hat that we can mount.
Was it Napa that used to run around with the cowboy
baseball hat?
Baseball hat
It
on
was
top
a
of
blue
the truck.
baseball hat. We looking for a plastic
Look, that
cowboy
Tahoe's
hat.
already top heavy.
I know it.
Well, we'll put it on the Cadillac.
Yeah, we got to get the Cadillac going. We're getting ready for Cadillac mode here.
Talking about the hat, somebody the other day, my dad was wearing a cowboy hat. Excuse me, he wears a cowboy hat every day.
Yeah, that's
he
what I
was
thought.
wearing a ball cap, and the guy made this. Matter of fact, it was Barry White. Barry said, "Hey, Mr. Tony, I didn't even recognize you with the ball cap on."
It's funny how something like that can change your whole appearance.
It really can.
Like I've been to funerals and people speak to me. I'm like, "Who are you? You ain't got your overalls on. You ain't got your ball cap. I don't know you."
That's right.
Something out of place.
When we went to the governor's mansion, this one fellow walked up to Scotty Ray and said, so how many cattle do you have?"
I have 2 dogs and a cat.
And some chickens that are free roaming.
I ain't chasing no cows in the middle of the night. I got my experience when I was a young man, and it ain't fun, let me tell you.
Oh,
Sarah is into this. She don't want you to wear a hat.
Yeah,
Thank you,
no
Ms.
to the
Jones.
hat.
I agree with that as well.
LaWanda says you need a cap. You need the hat. She's for it. Well, I'm tell you what. Later today, I'm going to get my team to build a survey, and I'm gonna need you to go by your daddy's and borrow his hat and take a picture, and then we'll do the hat or no hat thing.
That's right. Because we are worldwide here.
That's
we're
right.
not just local. We're not just on the States. We are worldwide, and people, we can get a good response. See if we need to get you a hat.
That's right.
We'll be right back. More on the way of the Scotty Ray Report.
Health Now is your locally owned medical equipment store. Every person's need is a little different, and they offer a little bit of everything from hospital beds, wheelchairs, reclining back wheelchairs, breathing treatments, CPAPs and supplies. They even have walkers, bath products, and oxygen. And the great thing about Health Now is they offer same-day service. They're open Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. and on call 24/7. Health Now Medical Equipment, where we treat our patients like family.
If every time the wind blows you get a little leery about a tree over your house, talk to my friends at Reed Tree Service. There's no reason to be worried about a tree crashing through your house. Mike Reed has years of experience dealing with trees. It can be as simple as having a limb removed or a tree that is just huge too close to your shop or house. It's not going to cost you anything to have Mike come out and give you an estimate. They're licensed and insured, taking care of East Mississippi and West Alabama. Reed Tree Service. Have tree, we'll travel. Welcome
Scotty
back.
Ray Boyd.
Scotty Ray, along with Odie, and of course our sheriff of Clarke County, Anthony Chancelor, his first visit since he's been sheriff. The last time he was here, he was running for office. His daddy's done text us, and he says that, Anthony, you need to keep one in case it's raining.
That's right. I think I can do
You know,
that.
I'm sitting here thinking, and Shirley just going out on a limb there says that I need to wear one, definitely, and that you're too good looking to wear a hat.
Floyd is going to
He's
say,
gonna
I
blush in a
need a
minute."
cowboy hat. Floyd, I don't know if I need a cowboy hat.
There's some folks that are hat people and some, but I really think Anthony is a hat man. He just don't know it.
I
Now,
like a ball cap.
ball cap.
I love ball caps.
Let's go back to In the Heat of the Night. Y'all remember Bubba?
Oh, yes,
Oh,
sir.
Now, Bubba, did y'all like Bubba with or without the hat? Let's look at this here. Let me pull this up here. Here's Bubba over here on the right. Let me pull this down, Anthony, where you can see that. Here's Bubba with the hat.
Yeah,
Now, I
definitely
did
with
not like the emblem in the middle of the hat. I like more of the Texas Ranger. You wear your own type hat there. But there's Bubba without the hat.
He never wore an undershirt. That's his biggest flaw.
No, I don't either.
Oh, I've
But
got to
but in
have
a
it.
uniform shirt, you know that badge and stuff on the back's got to be wearing him. As a career law enforcement officer, I'm knowing that the backside of that nameplate and that badge and everything else is rubbing his skin.
He's
That's
just
right.
a tough old boy then, isn't
He
he?
must be. He must
I
be
wear
pretty
an
tough.
undershirt with T-shirts, with regular shirt. It doesn't matter. I'm going to have an undershirt on. But it's called preparation.
H?
An undershirt will keep you warmer in the winter. It
That's
will
right.
keep you cooler in the summertime.
That's right.
And if you're on one of these emergency scenes and it just hits you, you always got toilet paper with you.
I ain't even gonna touch that. Are you, Anthony?
You know, I don't know, but speaking in the heat of the night, those
Y'all
are some
just got off
good
that
training.
subject pretty
We're going
quick.
somewhere else.
Man, they had a murder in that town every day
They did.
in Sparta,
Little
Mississippi.
Sparta, Mississippi.
Thank God there's no Sparta, Mississippi.
I
And
really.
I'm glad it's not in Clarke
And people
County.
from New York coming down here to do it.
I know.
Bill Gillespie just kind of guided the town through that. The earlier episodes, I really, and I'm not running anybody down, but I really liked it a lot more before. They changed the whole direction after Virgil got there and took the focus off of Bill.
Yeah.
As being the sheriff, and they focused more on him. I liked it more in that beginning. And what was the officer, the little black girl that was on there forever in that episode where she lost her life? She was a great actress.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
And
I can't
what was
remember
this?
her
Let me
name.
pull this guy's back up here.
I
since
always
we're-
liked Sweet. Sweet was
That's
my
what
Sweet was cool. Yeah.
Yeah, here's Sweet. Right.
Downtown Meridian.
Wrong button there. Let me pull this up. There's Sweet right there. That's who we're talking about.
No,
No,
that's Parker.
Sweet is
That's
right
Parker.
here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's Sweet right there.
Let me pull up the entire picture here.
Yeah, that's
yeah,
Sweet
there's
on the
Sweet.
far left. He was smooth. He was.
What was his name?
Parker.
Parker. He was the bumbling.
He was the one that stayed at the desk.
That's right. He ran the radio most of the time.
That's all they could trust him with.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
what was Lord have mercy.
His son,
His
Carol's
son.
son's
Carol's son.
name?
What was his name in the show?
the one right there in the middle.
Yeah,
Somebody's bound to remember that.
Yeah.
but he didn't always have the biggest speaking parts of the show. I guess because he couldn't talk sometimes. But he would end up losing his life to
That's
drugs.
right, to drugs.
And
It was
Carol
overdose.
O'Connor took a stance from that moment on about fighting drugs. He was serious about
Well,
it.
that's why he's on the show, because Carol says, I'm going to bring you here so we can try and keep an eye on you and try and get you to do better.
Yeah.
And he did for a while, and then it just kind of Jameson. That's it.
Jameson.
William knew it.
Yeah, a lot of y'all all know this stuff, but man, I enjoyed that show, and everything that was said. They'd talk about Newton, and then they'd show Jackson, and most all the road signs on there you could recognize. They kind of legitimate.
Well, they filmed the majority of that in Newton County, Georgia, which is the city of Covington. Downtown Covington, Georgia, is where they filmed it.
Pretty neat there.
Yeah.
So a little.
I'm pretty sure, unless I'm wrong, and somebody can correct me on that, but I'm about.
Georgia hit a lot of Hollywood to come, and they welcomed them with open arms. You know, look, come here. Walking Dead filmed there.
Now the
and
original.
not a whole lot's done anywhere else. Mississippi is starting to open their doors to some Hollywood movies.
There's a lot of action movies in downtown Jackson. That's what they
Yeah,
say.
yeah,
but
that's
they're
true.
just not recording them and putting them on the big screen.
Now the original In the Heat of the Night,
certain
the
parts of
movie was filmed in Ohio. I don't know if y'all
Okay,
remember that.
yeah, the movie back.
Yeah, the movie way back in
I
the
don't
day
remember
there.
what year that came out.
Oh, it's been forever to go. As we look at a few things that happened yesterday, if you were traveling 59 and Meridian, not far from the split, look at this. This is what happened there yesterday. Ooh. Big old Freightliner just kind of frowning on the side of the road. Oh, let's look at a few of these as we come through here. Lima Hazmat was on site because they had to be. Look at this thing. This thing was humongous. Right there was our problem.
That one tire, that steer tire, as soon as it blew out, it just pulled him straight to the right. Wasn't anything he could do. He actually did pretty good by keeping it on the wheels as long as possible until it finally just tipped over. Slowly tipped over. It wasn't a real hard fall, which was good. That was the totes that we were scared about, 225 gallons.
And no leaks,
in each one of them. And no leaks. That's what got us. And people had said, I need to go back and I guess watch it. But somebody says, well, you never did say what the name of the product was. And I said, look, I said there was, I don't know, 100 and something thousand gallons on these trucks. There was 1,800 gallons of this stuff. And I'm sitting here trying to calculate how much liquid's on there, how fast it's going to travel, where we need to make a dam if something was to happen. Throwing all that out, and I was not going to try and name this chemical.
And you know why I didn't name it? Because I couldn't pronounce it. There it is. I looked it up.
Yeah, y'all.
Dicyclopentadine. And if I'd have tried to say that while I was doing an interview without really thinking about it,
We could have said something bad.
I could have told you it was a UN number 2048. Some people would have known it. Some people wouldn't.
Let's just
known how to
hold
get
the
it.
presses here for just a second here. You two here have got to start screening things for me a little bit better there. We almost had a boo-boo last night.
Yeah, I went back. I didn't catch it until you said something.
I put a video after we had loaded it up, and there was a word in the background that I didn't catch, and I had to get rid of that.
Well,
somebody
Odie didn't
was
catch
happy.
it either after you sent it. Odie still didn't. He's like, I didn't hear it.
I had to go back, so I'm sitting in Waffle House with the phone up to my ear because I didn't want anybody else in there to hear it. And,
I said, woof, that's got to go. So we done a little edit this morning and loaded it back up. If you'd like to see the truck, go back up. But what's that?
Karina says I called it.
Yeah.
There was a few.
It wasn't that long, and then it.
On behalf of the team here at Scotty Ray Report, we apologize for.
Yes, we do.
Our minds get together
We
pretty
apologize for
good,
the
you know.
word that was put out there.
But it was let me find that here. Let me pull this up and play this, and it's got some talking, so we won't talk as this plays. You won't be able to hear it in the studio. But this is the truck. This is what these guys do every night, cleaning up. And this was the ending of what happened last night. Let me pull this up on the screen again. There's going to be talking that everybody's going to hear. And there she goes. She's back up. And that's what's involved with pulling a truck up.
And we had to, get this thing unloaded.
Yeah.
before they could even try anything.
And that's what takes so long. And I can't tell you how many times I've been on a scene like that, and you'll spend it's nothing to spend 12 to 14 hours at
These
one,
things are loaded
because
as
they've
they're
gotta-
upright.
That's right.
And you've got to unload them.
Because the walls of those vans or those reefers, they're not built to withstand the weight of their cargo. So they have to go in, unload the entire thing before they can turn it up right. Because if they did try to turn it up right, it's just going to fall slam through the wall.
All right, y'all be thinking, because I'm going to ask y'all a question about truck drivers in a minute. And I'm going to see how good y'all are on this, because I was at a wreck scene one time, and I sat and I listened to two truck drivers argue back and forth about what they drove. And I want y'all's opinion on this. That's coming up. We'll be
I
right
already know
back.
the answer. I can go ahead and tell you.
Downtown Meridian is thriving with a fresh look, and now it's getting a new neighbor. Toyota of Meridian is now open under new hometown leadership. We're bringing automotive knowledge and experience home with a focus on improved customer satisfaction and all new pricing. Toyota of Meridian is excited to serve the Queen City and exceed your expectations.
I'm Trinard Rush, and I want to invite you to Toyota Meridian, where hometown pride drives excellence.
Our local headlines are brought to you by the Rock House Gun and Pawn.
Philadelphia Gun and Pawn, located at 910 Posey Avenue, has tons of lawnmowers to choose from. A big selection of zero-turn lawnmowers, power washers, and even barbecue grills. Step inside the store and see their complete line of Liberty safes along with those Browning safes. A large selection of Louis Vuitton purses along with satin shirts and bead sets. And tons to choose from for the outdoorsman in your household. And always a great deal on any type of jewelry you're looking for. And a private lobby for pawns for your confidentiality. Philadelphia Gun and Pawn. And welcome back. I'm your friend Scotty Ray, along with Odie. Our special guest this morning is Sheriff Chancelor. Boy, it sounds good to be able to say that after the election. Yeah. We had a question there from Rhonda.
Well, now, we are always talking about the team down in Clarke County. And now we've got the high sheriff.
There he is, right
and
there.
And he does have a chief deputy, and that is the coroner, the owner of Herald, Chief Deputy Barry White.
Barry White.
Now, he can't sing a lick, but his name's Barry White.
That's right. That's exactly right. And he does a good job.
But it's Lauderdale County that does not have a chief deputy. They do not, but Clarke does. So that's how that comes up. So we wanted to answer that. Now, as I mentioned a moment ago, I was at a wreck scene, and I always kept a CB in my truck just because it alerts you that there's a wreck here that you don't hear about. Slowly Waze is replacing that. Have y'all got that app? It's a map. And if there's a wreck, it tells you, hey, there's a wreck up ahead.
Oh, the Waze app.
Yeah, WAZE.
Oh, I
It's
thought
a
you were
great thing to
slowly
have.
Waze.
And then it also goes, excuse me, the police are up ahead.
That's right.
It also tells you that. It's a great app.
Yeah, they'll ride through. People mark where you're sitting. Like when I'd work
Correct.
patrol, if you sit at a certain location, one of my favorite places on Highway 45, just north of County Road 150.
That was your place?
I used to run stationary radar all the time, and I had people say, like, I'll be there 20, 30 minutes, and they already got me marked on the app.
Wow.
There's Anthony right there.
There we go.
But that app is great. But back in the day, for years, I carried that CB radio. And there was a wreck, and we were all hung in traffic. It was two old boys. And you used to own a trucking company.
I did for 10 years.
So what is the difference in between a guy that drives a regular rig and another guy that drives a reefer?
Okay, well,
I mean,
one's
they were
cooler.
arguing. I mean, the other boy that drove the refrigerated unit, they were eating him alive. It was joke after joke.
Was it a
after
Swift
joke.
truck?
or a JB Hunt truck,
Yeah.
something
Sure
like that.
wish I finished training.
I'll tell you what, the trucking industry, employees of the, truck drivers are an interesting, they're a group of people.
Absolutely.
And they work hard, and they spend their life on the road, and they have their own jokes amongst each other, and that's like the ones that drive Peterbilts versus anything else.
Well, I was
'Cause
going to
that's-
say, if you drive like a Freightliner, are you below the guy that drives a Peterbilt?
I wouldn't say that. No,
But
but
that not a mindset?
It's a mentality. It is, and it is. I kid you not. There was a time whenever I'm not going to call I had a brand new truck of a certain brand.
Okay.
The truck wasn't 4 months old, but I had a 2007 Peterbilt 379 that And the guy preferred, and the truck at the time was, heck, it was 10 years old, 11 years old, but he wanted that old Peterbilt versus that brand new other truck. And that's just that. I mean, there's something about an old Peterbilt. They say truck drive,
that long-nosed Pete. It's
old
a
truckers
truck.
never die. They just buy a new Peterbilt. That's what, that's what they say.
Well, and I guess you would put that in the light like a Cadillac back in the day,
That's right.
back when a Cadillac was the premier car to own. Not so much anymore. You ain't got a fin no more. It used to be it was the mark of excellence. If you had finally made it in life and made a little money, that Cadillac told everybody you had it.
Yep.
Now, it's not so much there.
I see old Jay Lee's up and about this morning.
Good to see you there. So let me ask this, Anthony, since becoming sheriff, what has been the, I don't want to say the biggest thrill, but as you took office, is it exactly what you thought? Has there been any surprises that you've dealt with that you had to go, whoa?
Well, it's a, you always hear, being the sheriff is a tough job, and it is, but somebody has to do it. But I wouldn't say there have been any really major surprises, which we did have a lot go. We've had a lot go on. My bunch, as of yesterday, has arrested.
Let me ask this: do you know how many arrests you've made since you took office?
It's right at 100 since January the 1st in 2 months, and a lot of those are felony meth charges, crystal meth.
Don't be doing drugs.
That's
in
right,
Clarke.
and it's heck, I'm gonna be putting this out later, but they've made 2 in the past couple of days, 2 felony possession charges. But it's different. I don't know. I don't feel like I'm any different than I was.
You've got
December
a good
31st.
team.
Oh yeah, I have a great staff. I have a great staff. Sheriff Kemp left me. He left the cupboard full.
Yes, sir.
I had to make a few adjustments and a few changes. That's a fact. But I was able to bring in a couple of people that have been a huge asset to my team. I credit them for everything that we do.
Well, you have to have a leader that's smart enough to know you need to surround your people
That's right.
with great people.
Well, and the thing is, I don't claim to be the smartest man in the world by any stretch of the imagination, but I'm gonna find somebody who is.
Well, and that makes a
in
lot
that
of sense.
particular, thing.
And I've always liked the advice: a man has got to know his limitations.
That's right.
And when you know what your faults are, you hire somebody next to you that's great at your weakness, and together you're incredible.
That's right.
That's what
exactly
the team
right.
is. That's
right.
you assemble the team, and we all work together.
Boy, I sure wouldn't want to be driving a Volvo this morning. That seems to be the brand that everybody's picking on. Somebody said their son would even park next to a reefer inside a truck stop.
Which my bunch, we were leased on with what once was A&R Transport, and then Quantix bought them out. We pull dry bulk tankers. It's plastic basically. We haul
Right.
plastic. If they made it out of plastic, we'd haul it different locations. So that's what we did.
All right, y'all stay close to us. We're going to test Anthony, as we often do our guest on this day in history. Let's see how good Anthony does. I sure hope you got your daddy on
Jeff
text.
Tate. Look at
Hey,
Jeff
what-
Tate.
What's Jeff saying?
He
Just
said
up
he's
there.
been leaned back out
Miston Jackson. High Sheriff leaned back like
there. And somebody did ask before we go on this quick break.
Okay.
Just did you get any buy money from the from the supervisors in Clarke County to make some purchases of illegal drugs?
Do what now?
Using buy money. You know how you've got.
Oh, you mean as
We
in
do.
seized cash to buy things?
we
Okay.
do utilize buy money. Yes, we do.
So good, and it seems to be working. So hey, that's not a
Hey,
bad.
I saw a
thing.
new Ford Expedition. Y'all got a new ride down there,
We
don't
did.
you?
We bought 2 of those, but that was money that I was able to secure from the state legislature in the last legislative session, with the help of Jeff Tate and also our representative Troy Smith, was able to get that money to buy vehicles. So that
All right, well, there you go.
Yeah. Somebody said they want to see you without a hat. You have.
No, you don't.
just didn't know it was
You-
him.
You don't want to see me without a hat. I've been toting this since I graduated high school. We'll be right back as we get this morning started. The selection is always changing at Massey Supermart Auto Sales with low mileage cars and trucks. How about a 2022 Jeep Wrangler, Ridgeline Sport with only 40,000 miles, a GMC Denali, or a 2024 Silverado 2500? Drop in today and find the car that you're looking for. They're packed with low mileage cars and trucks.
The low profit dealer. Tracy Supermart.
For something as vital as your eyes, you should have your lenses and contacts made with the utmost care and precision. And that's what Grayson Optical does on 24th Avenue. Since 1996, Grayson Optical's mission has been to provide Meridian and surrounding areas with quality eye care products. That's why we're locally owned and operated. And don't forget, custom-made sunglasses like Costa for your eyes only. When you need to see clearly, Grayson Optical. 2021 24th Avenue, Meridian. 601-693-6374.
Meridian's favorite barbecue is Squealer's Barbecue, named the barbecue capital for the state of Mississippi. Whether it's barbecue, wings, or burgers, Squealer's simply has the best for a family environment. Every Thursday night, there's live music out on the porch. Takeout orders are welcome, and whether it's your next tailgate or large catering event, your friends at Squealer's are there to help. Drop in for lunch today or a night out on the town. Squealer's Barbecue, the best in fine barbecue.
And welcome back. Our special guest this morning is Sheriff Chancelor. Clarke County is where he calls home. And I just have to ask, because I put Todd on the spot when he was here. He sang for us.
I'm not singing.
Can you sing? You sing at church, or you do anything like that?
I'm singing the choir. Some.
Never a solo?
No, but not since I was a kid.
You know any John Anderson songs? Just a swing, and you can
like Seminole Wind.
Oh,
like
I love
That's
that
my
one.
favorite song. I ain't gonna lie, it's a good song.
It was
I'm
good.
gonna say it's my favorite song, but I like it.
Wild and Blue. I loved all that. I'm the black sheep of the family. I can see that you wear your black cowboy hat. Odie, have we gotten any birthdays before we go to
yeah, you know, Tracy Shelton's got a birthday today. Becky Monk's got a birthday today, and Stacy Thomas has a birthday today. Why is it women don't ever get numbers with theirs? And you're going to get this Scotty Ray Report Hyundai of Meridian coffee cup to enjoy mornings with Scotty Ray and Odie every day.
Because they don't like to tell that age.
Oh, happy birthday to my baby boy, John Locklear. He's 25. See, there's a man, and they get numbers beside. Nobody wants to do women with numbers.
Anthony, do you feel the urge to tell your wife's age for any reason right now?
I'm 37. I'll tell you, I'm 37.
We'll leave that one alone. As we roll back the pages of history, two names that you will remember, two famous, and it's hard to believe that we could lose two famous people at one time defending our country. Well, it happened on this date. It was 1836, and you really got to step back and put yourself in the mindset of what was going on. They're surrounded. Santa Ana has closed in. There's no way out. You've sent for help, and they ain't coming. It's like being in Vicksburg, Mississippi in 1864. Ain't nobody coming. Whew. As we would lose Davy Crockett and Jim Bowie. Of course, you know him from the Bowie knife. They both died there. Many, many people lost their lives that day, that night at the Alamo. Go see it if you ever get a chance.
I remember the Alamo.
The movie.
I guess we're supposed to remember the Alamo. Right?
You're supposed to.
I remember that.
Let's see here. In 1865, they had a big ball tonight, an inaugural ball. There's a few people that danced there as, well, Abe Lincoln threw a big party up in Washington, D.C. That did happen tonight.
Oh, Honest Abe.
You believe that?
Honest Abe.
Y'all believe he was honest?
I do.
No, he's a politician.
No, don't say that now. I'm a politician. Now, my honesty might get me run off in 4 years.
He's a presidential politician.
I ain't going to go deep into this, but you really ought to read. There's some extra books about Abe that is not publicly known, of some letters that he may have written to some people that you should read, and you'll go,
Really?
Yeah, it'll clear your sinuses there. 1899, everybody and their brother has carried this. And I remember these little capsules. I used to see them in church all the time. The little ladies would open this up and hand it to their husband.
Yep.
Y'all remember this? The Bear aspirin. It was invented on this day in 1899.
That's what you're supposed to take and eat if you think you're, what?
It's supposed to be good for your heart.
Good for your
like
heart,
a baby aspirin.
You can like take
day.
one every day. Yeah, that's right.
I can still remember Waylon Jennings talking before he broke into the song. He said, I wrote this song on a flight back to Texas. He was talking about where Bob Wills is still the king. Bob Wills, born on this day back in 1905, and of course him and the Texas Playboys would be around forever. They were huge. You've got to look like you have no idea who the Texas Playboys were.
Never heard of them.
You are kidding me, Anthony.
I'm
going to have a talk with your daddy.
Well, I was born in '86, so
That ain't got nothing to do with anything.
and I'm kind of like, who was that on here last week? Said it's not fair. You know the answers to all this stuff. was it Julia Norman? I think.
Julia was trying to slam me there.
Well,
She
I'm
had
with
to-
her on this. You know, you got
Y'all
all
have
the
to. I'll let you and her come in and test me. There's a few things that I know of current event, but there's a lot of things I look at and go, that don't really matter. If it's big, I try to include it. If it's, you know, as we go back to 1923, this guy, and you may have even dreamed about this guy knocking on your door.
With balloons and flowers and all that stuff.
Anthony's got that look like, I want a man knocking on my door.
But he also had a check.
Yes, he did. Ed McMahon.
Ed
You remember
McMahon.
him?
I do remember
The
him.
Publishers Clearinghouse guy. That if he, what was it, $1 million?
That's right.
The prize
Well, there
patrol.
was different ones. You had $1 million. You had 5,000 a week for life. They did different things as long as you bought all those magazines. Well,
Well, they
wait a minute. You don't
claimed-
have.
Well, they used to send
buy
out all them. They used to send out all them things.
Yeah.
And say
Yeah.
you have won. Blah 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 blah. I'll never forget. I was probably 7 years old. And I got one out of my grandmother's mailbox, and
You thought it was
I was
it.
like, "Oh, look at this!" Running up to my-
We won. We won.
and
And
she
it's-
was like, "No,
There was a lot of people that fell for that, though.
I believe it."
And
I
that-
did. I did. I was an intelligent 5-6-year-old.
A millionaire.
But you know, that borders that line of you shouldn't do that to me, because I think that's kind of false the way they worded it. And that's just me thinking out loud. This guy, I don't believe I don't blame Archie Bunker
Meathead.
once for not liking him.
Yeah.
Meathead. Rob Reiner was born on this day. You know who Meathead is?
Yeah. What did he?
All in the Family.
All in a Family.
He was married to
Yeah.
the girl that cried. the whole time.
Sally Struthers.
I couldn't. If I had to watch another one of those commercials where she was begging for money again, that was awful, y'all. We lived through that somehow
We
every
did.
night, and she
But it
was
was
eating.
tough.
She was eating all the profit. Y'all know that as well as I do. Starving kids.
All they got was a bowl of rice. 'Cause you took all the cash.
I ain't never known anybody named Kiki. Do you know anybody named Kiki?
I actually went to high school with a girl we called Kiki,
Really?
but that wasn't her name.
I have
We called her
never known anyone personally that was named Kiki, and I had to study at this, and then it hit me who it was. You remember a guy named Elton John?
I do.
Do you remember a song? Y'all probably know it better than me.
Remember,
because
he's not.
He's
still
still here.
alive.
He's still
So
alive.
you said remember like he's gone, like he's
But I'm
dead.
going back to the 70s, back when Rocket
Okay.
Man was big. He did a duet with "Don't Go Breaking My Heart."
That's right.
Yeah.
Don't go. This is the girl that did it with him. Her name was Kiki D. Well, I don't want to say that too fast.
Not 3 times anyway.
Absolutely not. We're not touching that here at the report.
Angie said she works with a guy named Kiki.
Really? That's a guy? She spells hers K-I-K. But it's the same thing, isn't it?
I see where my sister said that my nieces thought I was older than 37. I thought I'd hit on that real quick.
Oh, sister trying to dog on you.
I know.
Yeah.
My hair's turning gray. You know, I don't know what I'm gonna look like. I'm by the end of this term. I might have hair like Ward from Forrest Over With.
Get that cowboy hat, it covers up a multitude of things.
It's easier to comb.
It sure is. As we look back to this, I remember we didn't have a lot of it, but I remember the first tube of this. It come in an egg.
And an egg. I loved it.
And I got it. And y'all remember when comics were big?
Yes.
And you'd take it and you'd squish it, and the next thing you'd put it down on it, and what did you have? Silly putty.
Oh yeah, I do remember.
Man, that was some good stuff.
It was fun. And does that even exist anymore?
Yeah, they
Yeah.
got it.
Some.
Yeah.
I just hadn't seen it in quite some time. Let's see what else happened on today. Let's go back to 19. This guy, I don't know about him. I'm being honest when I say this guy rubs me wrong. It totally rubs. I see him. It's like that mall cop. What's his name that was delivered to
Paul
FedEx?
Paul Blart?
Yeah, I don't like him.
Kevin James?
He ain't never done nothing to me, but I see him and I think, I'm changing you right now.
You don't
there,
like
buddy.
Kevin James?
He didn't do it for me. It's like he comes off as not being honest. I don't know why, but that's the way I take the guy. But this one is, I just put him right up there with disgusting. To me, I mean, he gives me the willies.
Who is this guy we're talking about?
We're talking about Tom Arnold. He was born in '59.
yeah.
I don't know. Have me and him sat down and broke bread together? No, but he turns me off.
He
some kind of
played
way.
in True Lies with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
He did.
He was his partner.
And he also hung out with Roseanne. And maybe that's the tie-in that's really just, he was married to her for quite some time. And it just, I don't know. This guy at one point in time came to Meridian, Mississippi, went out to Collinsville and was the grand marshal of the parade. He was talented, as we go back to remember Skip Ewing on the coast of Colorado. That was a big one. I don't have far to fall. Whoo, that was big. You win again. Your memory went that board. Y'all, let me just show the camera over here. He's got a, I don't know.
I'm out.
Skip Ewing was.
I'm not like Kevin James. I'm honest. No.
Let's see what else. 1972, this guy would grow up to be a millionaire. Why? He was good at what he does, and he was good at managing money. Shaquille O'Neal, born on this day back in 72. Famous basketball player. Now, in 1974, this guy was really breaking barriers in country music. Some called him folk. We don't want him on country. And he done a breakthrough song he wrote it, because I'm leaving on a jet plane.
Yeah.
Don't know. Y'all remember that? It was in Armageddon.
Mm-hmm.
He also done a song called Back Home Again. Hey, it's
John
good
Denver.
to be back home again.
I remember those commercials that always advertised for his songs.
Oh, where you could buy the album.
Yeah, by the album. Yeah.
That John was really, thank God I'm a country boy.
Mm-hmm.
I really like that a lot there. Let's see what else happened on today as we roll back. Who could remember this? It was 1973. I messed up a year here. And there was a lot of people said, I think there was a little hanky-panky that went on behind the scenes. We'll never know that by any stretch of the imagination. But if you were standing in Vicksburg, Mississippi, looking across, you might see a Louisiana woman. Well, they wrote a song about it on today and recorded it. Louisiana man,
Louisiana woman,
Mississippi man. We get together every chance we can.
Yeah.
Conway and Loretta.
Conway.
They were big. You do know who they were, right?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
I do
Boy.
know that.
We're going to have a class. 1981, it would all come to an end.
Man.
A guy that was there that broke the news to America that said JFK had been shot. He done it every night, and I think everybody believed him when he told the news. It wasn't biased. He just told it, and he closed it out every night with, that's the way it was, as Walter Cronkite retired.
That's the way it was.
It truly, it just...
It reminds me of, oh my gosh, that movie, Bruce Almighty, whenever he...
Yeah.
He's like, that's the way it was.
Did you like that? 1982, this day and time, if you don't have that look of what they think is GQ, it's hard to get a record deal. There was a time in America to where just talent got you. Oh, you're the best break this old heart ever had. Anybody remember Ed Bruce? He would be the man that wrote Mamas Don't Let Your Babies Grow Up to Be Cowboys. Oof. That's him. Ed Bruce, he had a bunch of hits. I liked him. My First Taste of Texas had blue eyes and golden hair.
We're getting a possible two-car MVC out on Highway 19 South, the 1600 block of Highway 19 South. So if you're coming through that area, be careful.
I'm assuming that's going to be 1.6 miles outside of the city limits.
I'm glad you know
Towards
how
Southeast
to read
School.
All right, we also just got in, there's a structure fire in the 600 block of 44th Avenue in Meridian also. So keep that in mind with what you're doing today, and about there. All right, let's see what else happened today here. You're not going to believe
Look
this.
at here, after we talked about it.
This is just too weird. 1988,
Look at
In
that.
the Heat of the Night premiered.
In the heat of the night.
Can you carry that tune? Let me hear you hit that high
I'm
note
not
over
going to
there.
do it. I'm not going to
Come on, Anthony, try
Scotty
it.
Ray, I'm going to be up for re-election in 3 years. I can't be doing that.
As we go back to 1999, someone had an accident. They would also get a DUI or DWI, however you want to word it. It used to be said differently.
Yeah.
And it would be no more than the possum. That happened several times in his life. Over and over.
Yeah, quite a few of them.
1999, this girl was, she was beautiful. She married some old boy from Birmingham. It didn't work out. Anybody remember Sarah Evans?
Sarah.
No place that far. She had a great voice.
Yes, you did.
Started out with 3 chords and the truth, if you've ever heard that song. 2016, we'd lose a little lady that was next to a great man as we go to Washington, as we lost Nancy Reagan on this day.
Wow.
Well, she was a skinny, she needed some cornbread. Let's just tell it how it really was.
Some cornbread, black-eyed peas, and some milk.
We'll be right back. More on the way at the report as we continue your early morning with Scotty Ray Report.
Spring is finally here, and at Paris Kubota, we currently have just under 500 mowers in stock. Z-Series 42-inch for only $43.99 cash or around $86 a month, and we're offering free delivery and pickup. And did you know for only $4 a month, you can also add a Husqvarna handheld to your deal? We've moved to our new location, 2401 Jimmy Rogers Parkway. Stop by in and find you one of these great deals.
Patrick Allen Companies has a wide selection of garage doors that will fit your style, add value to your home, and add curb appeal to your neighborhood. Patrick Allen also has top-of-the-line, energy-efficient replacement windows that will make your home look great while saving you money. We're family-owned and operated, and we take pride in our work. 5305 Highway 145 South in Meridian.
For all your garage doors and replacement windows, call Patrick Allen Companies. Safety, service, satisfaction.
J&J Tire and Muffler, located at 3420 8th Street, invites you by. And if you need a front-end alignment, make sure to try their new state-of-the-art alignment machine. No matter the size of your truck and car, J&J can align it. J&J also has touch-free mounting, laser wheel balancing, and as always, they provide preventive maintenance, including CV axles, shocks, struts, brakes, with the largest selection of new and used tires, along with exhaust systems. Locally owned and operated since 1978 in Meridian. And welcome back. I'm your friend Scotty Ray along with Odie. What was the commotion on Highway 39 yesterday as we pulled this up? There was a major accident. From what we're understanding, this could have been caused from possibly a medical emergency. It was 4 cars involved, and you'll see here that Mustang up here took a good lick. Look at that. Another car pile there. It was 4 in the end that were just right by Harry Mayer's, right up by near Walmart at 33rd Street. See, there's a loading up the last car there. I see Kevin in the background. And there's that Mustang there, major damage there.
You know, there's some people that could use that intersection right there and might have to leave there, go up to Harry Mayer and buy some nice clothes because what they had on is no longer clean.
Oh, I'll leave that alone. Harry, get your clothes right up there. Also, out near the Bama state line, mile marker 165. It's not a Swift truck, but it did have an issue yesterday. Jackknife, the rain caused it. And off into the ditch it went. No major injuries. They probably pulled that one out and he was able to go on his way. We ran out there after visiting several accidents yesterday afternoon. Missed some of that stuff there. I got my videos mixed up. Can't have that. And we did have a power line get knocked down inside the city limits. This would be back behind SMI along in there. It was on 24th Avenue in D Street. Box truck was going through, caught a power line, and they had to come send Mississippi Power to the rescue. Ooh. Hate it when that happens. And I want to thank these folks. This was a lot of fun. I hadn't been out in a while. I went over to Highland Baptist yesterday, and I got to read to the kids. I want to say a big thank you for them inviting me over to read Dr. Seuss. I like green hams and something. I'll have to
green eggs and ham.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, green eggs and ham.
It was fun hanging out with the kids there yesterday, and a big thank you for inviting me. Matter of fact, I'm coming to Enterprise Thursday?
Good.
It's Thursday, yeah. We'll
That'd be tomorrow.
Yes.
That's good.
No,
And,
next week.
No, this week.
Oh, is it this week?
Yeah, in Clarkdale, hitting Clarkdale. And if we can fit it in between the bad weather, we'll go to Crestview also. We've been invited to Crestview to do that. But that depends upon the weather.
That's right. It is
happens.
Dr. Seuss week. It is.
It is.
Because my kids dress.
Do you ever find,
I normally dress up as Cat in a Hat, but
you doing that for the inmates or the deputies? I mean, I think it'd be nice for you to go.
I'm just kidding. I don't dress up as Cat in a Hat. But
read to the inmates. I think it's story time with
that's
Anthony.
true. He always looking for things to help
something
make
to
their
keep
stay
it
a little bit
lively
better.
To keep the berry yard up to speed.
That's right.
A lot goes on in Clarke County, and look, and we want to say thank you. You're doing a great job there. I get reports all the time of how you are and the deputies and the way things are being handled in the area.
Well, I appreciate it. We're trying our best, and like I said, I have a great staff, and they do a wonderful job. They treat people accordingly. But
that's important.
We're not going to roll over.
Right.
The law is the law.
The law is the law. We will do our job. And I believe that strong law enforcement helps society as a whole.
Yes, it does.
And I do. And, people complain and people get aggravated with oh, they just going to turn them out, or they going to do this, or they going to be let loose, or they ain't going to do nothing to them. And in our meetings, and like I said, in the first meeting we had, I told my bunch, it is our job to deliver these people to justice, not to carry it out. We stay in our lane.
And that's for the judges and the
That's
courts.
right. That's not our. That's the judicial branch. We're not a part of that. We are just to deliver people to justice, and that's what we're going to continue to do. But we have made a lot of changes since I took office. We are in the middle of a rotation. We're going to more of a 24-hour coverage, which we only have a few days to where we have a few hour gap where there's an on-call situation.
Right.
That's only 2 days. But I'm putting a lot into our criminal investigative division and my criminal investigators to get these crimes solved, and once they happen, you got to get on them quick. And that's essential. I have just applied for a grant for body cameras. We want body cameras. We need them. Hands down.
Well, it takes away that he said, she said,
exactly
and this is the
right.
facts of what
That's
went
exactly, and it cuts down on a lot of this trash. It protects everybody. It protects the people. It protects the officer.
When you start taking crime out of your community, and the criminals see that you're not going to just let them go by the wayside, they're going to start looking for other areas to call their home.
That's exactly right.
And people are going to start realizing that the law is being upheld in your area, and they're going to want to be part of your area because it's safe for them to raise their kids. Then you've got a broader tax base because you have more people coming in, buying property, spending money there. Now you've got more money to work with, and you continue to build that pot of funds because you continue to bring in people to your community.
That's right.
Because you provide them what everybody wants, and that is a safe environment to raise and live their family.
That is exactly right.
And that's, not just this. I mean, you and I are friends on a personal level, not just professional level. And I know exactly how you are. I know your heart. And you've done an awesome job over there. And, kudos to you.
Well, I appreciate it. Like I said, that's my team. That's them. They make it happen. I'm just a guy there that signs the checks.
That's what it's about there.
I sign the time. Excuse me.
Yeah.
I sign the time sheets.
Make it
which at the end of the day,
check, though.
they know that I've got their back.
Now, that's what's important. Your leadership should.
And it's
you do the right thing, and you're
that's
there.
That's exactly right. And one thing we understand: the naysayers are always going to naysay.
That's right.
And you're never going to make everybody happy. But I didn't get elected to try to make everybody happy. I got elected to do a job.
Yeah.
And to uphold the office of sheriff.
It's kind of like marriage.
And to hold people accountable. And to keep the peace in my county. That's what state statute says. Keep the peace in his given county. So there's a lot more to it, though. We're also the custodian of the courthouse as well. That belongs to us. Chief librarian for the county. There's a lot that goes on with it. But I am enjoying it. I am. I enjoy being there. I enjoy serving the people. And we're going to keep doing what we're doing.
Getting reports of this, and we'll share this in just a moment. We're getting our first images of what's happened on Highway 19.
Yes.
It is a head-on collision.
Yeah, 1600 block of Highway 19 South. Bad wreck.
We do see that a pickup truck is involved in this, and we'll be getting more on this coming up as the morning moves on. So say a couple prayers for whoever's involved in this. We've got some birthdays.
Yeah, we got some more birthdays that people are wanting this Hyundai of Meridian Scotty Ray Report Cup. Like John Locklear, who's 25 years old today. Milton Jenkins. I didn't have enough room to write all the numbers beside yours, but it was way on up there. I heard, yeah. His nickname is Josh, I think. I don't know who sent that in, but Chris Gully's 51. Gary Bigford. Rivers Rayner, 7 years old today. And Brandy Archie Cheney celebrating 45.
Ooh, y'all hang on. We'll be right back, and we'll give away a coffee mug next. Summertime has arrived, and Freeman Tractor on Highway 494 has the exact lawnmower for your need. If you've got a big yard with acres and acres to mow, they have a mower for that. No matter the size yard you have, Freeman Tractor has the lawnmower that fits you and your budget. From 48-inch all the way up to 60, or the X-Mark lawnmower. Plenty of these to choose from. Also, they carry a complete line of LS tractors. Come by for a test drive today. Financing available. Drop in today to Freeman Tractor, Highway 494, see coleslaw or buttermilk. As the seasons change, so do your clothes, and Garrett Sports Center on 8th Street has exactly what you need. Habo shirts, long and short sleeve, also Hulk shirts, and America's favorite brand, Carhartt. Whether you need work pants or slacks for church, and nothing lasts like a pair of Carhartt overalls. Maybe it's a set of boots that you need. From box to lacrosse, they have the boot for you. And as hunting season rolls in, they have all the camouflage you need and toboggans to boot. Garrett Sports Center, 3505 8th Street, Meridian. Have you been wanting your own building, your own shed? Speak to our friends at Best Sadia Building, 601-728-1954. Now, they can custom build you a home from a barn dominium. Maybe it's a shed that you're needing, or a simple place to park your car, a garage, a camp house. Maybe you need a place to park your tractor, your motorcycle, or even that lawnmower. They can custom design whatever it is you need. Quality work, trustworthy, Best Sadia Buildings. Speak with Drew, 601-728-1954. You know, speaking of people that have been with us since day one, Snowden and Company has been that. They've been one of our sponsors since we began. Honest folks that take care of you when it comes to buying a home. The keys to your future, your home, everything that goes in your life, well, it has something to do with your home, your family. That's what it is. 453-3937. Of course, he's joined the team. Jeremy is there. And if you're looking for a home on the water, maybe you're looking for a house in Enterprise. They do all of that from Dalewood to all over. Maybe it's a house in the county. Maybe you want to be in the city. They'll do it either way. They help out East Mississippi and West Alabama here. See them today. Snowden and Company, 453-3937. See Amanda, her team. They'll help you in every which way that you can. Now, let me ask you, there's a rumor floating around.
Rumor, let's go.
Rumor floating.
Everybody loves a good rumor.
That's
every
right.
now and then. You know, keep it going.
I hear that your gun is bigger than Todd's gun. Is there any truth to that?
Well, we both carry I'm carrying a 40 caliber right now. He carried a 40 caliber Glock. So.
I just remember eating that everybody used to tease him about his little gun that he had.
Oh, that 38. Oh, yeah, he did carry a 38 Smith a good ways.
It was about yay big.
That's right.
What you got to do with that, Sheriff? So I thought Hey, have you had a chance to talk to Todd lately?
I have. He stops by the office every now and again just to visit.
Get a little coffee.
A few times. That's right.
All right. Yeah.
He's enjoying his retirement, and he's actually, working for a vendor now that deals.
Oh, his
with
wife
jail
made him go to work, huh?
That's right. That's right.
You're not staying here all day.
I don't care where you go, but it ain't gonna be here. At the end of the day, we need to give away the coffee mug. Are you ready to do that?
Well, yeah, we can. It won't take
believe it
just
or not,
a
it's
second.
the-
We get right there to it.
And as we do, and Anthony, we can't thank you enough for coming in and being with us.
I've enjoyed it. I think have I earned the title of Scotty Ray Report contributor?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Do I get that? I need a little name tag or something.
We're gonna get you a name
I wanna
tag to go on there.
But I want to be able to walk up to somebody and say, "Sir, did you see what happened?" Yeah, I did.
Yeah, I did.
I love that line. I love that line. All right, Odie, you ready to give away this?
Let's see what we got here. Dun, 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 dun. Gary Bickford, the winner of the Hyundai of Meridian Scotty Ray Report Coffee Cup. All you got to do is go down to Hyundai of Meridian. They're the old carriage house, big silver building, Highway 39 North, catty-cornered from the Coca-Cola plant. And go in there and tell them, say, my name's Gary Bickford, and I won the coffee cup this morning on the Scotty Ray and Odie show. And you'll have that tomorrow morning to drink coffee while you watch us.
Ooh, I tell you what, look here, look who's done got a haircut. This is my girl. She hangs out with me all day up here. Oh,
What's her name? Lula Mae?
This is little Ellie.
Ellie Mae.
Ellie Mae. She's always on the job there.
Scarf.
I'm telling you, she keeps busy there.
And it's raining. You want to go play in the mud puddle, Ellie?
You know, that happened not long ago as we were, she just got back getting her hair done.
Too.
She was rolling in the mud outside.
Angie come outside, and I told Scotty Ray, I said, well, I got to go. I don't want to be around when Angie saw how she was a different color.
Yes, she was, wasn't she? Anyway, we want to thank everybody for joining us and being a part of what we do every day. Anthony, thank you for coming in.
Thank you for having me. I
Any
look
final
forward to
words
being
that
back.
we need to know about from Clarke County that we hadn't covered this morning? Anybody's house that you're going to issue warrants on in just a moment, and you're doing a countdown with
Yeah,
Barry?
we're going to do a list. We'll put it out later. We'll let them all know before we get there.
That's the Biden administration.
Not really. But, we want everybody to be careful this week. We got a lot of rain coming, I guess, what is that, Thursday?
Yeah,
Thursday?
Friday.
Excuse me, Friday, it'll be raining and all that good stuff. Drive careful and everybody take care and let us know if you need us.
All right. And again, I want
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, we enjoyed having you here. Now, let me see. Ellie, say
Look
goodbye
at
to
that.
everybody here. She's been out to the Collinsville Groom Room, and we wanted to say what a great job they did decorating her hair.
Yeah, look at her. She's
She's
just
like,
chilling
where's
out.
my tree? Where's my tree?
Yeah, I'm supposed to get one of those.
I'm telling you, this is she will lay here all day if you will hold her.
Did she shed very bad?
She doesn't have any.
See, now that's I like that.
Now, Ellie, Sophie, your big friend that's been over there visiting with you, she sheds everywhere.
Yeah, she'll go poof in his
hair. But I done bought me a blower. We're just to take care of that. She just don't know it
worry
yet.
about it.
Odie, I'm going to let you take us out of here this morning.
Well, you know how we want to do a little bit of Jesus on our show. That's one thing we believe in around here. And we're going to just get this verse from 1 Chronicles chapter 16, verse 24. Declare his glory among the nations, his marvelous deed amongst all people. Declare his name. Ask him to come into your heart. Ask him to forgive you of your sins. We need to do this every day because like I sin every single day. And I have to look to him every night and every morning to ask him to cleanse my soul like he did that day in Calvary. He can change your life and make your life better than you could ever imagine. Have a wonderful day. We love you, and we'll see you in about 23 hours. Have a great day.
The Scotty Ray Report is brought to you by our following partners.